Hi, welcome to St. Narsai's Harp of the Spirit podcast. I'm Melda and today I'm joined by Lucas and Mario. Today we'll be discussing all things COVID-19. So guys, what are your insights on the global pandemic?
So the global pandemic has affected me and a lot of people I know personally, as well as it's affected a lot of people around the world majorly. You know, people have lost their jobs, businesses have closed down and gone to administration, the government is losing millions, if not billions, you know?
Yeah, it's affected the Australian economy. Like the impact on Australian economy, I don't even think the impact on Australian economy is going to be solved or like resolved in the next couple of months or years probably, because this caused a ripple effect. And you know, COVID-19, or more people usually call it coronavirus, I don't feel like I took that seriously in the beginning when I first heard about it.
Yeah, the name was definitely out of the ordinary.
Yeah, of course, but where I heard about it was social media, which is where I think a lot of people our age hear things or the news.
Yeah.
Because no one really watches, well, people do watch the news, but I feel like the youth, and especially the millennials, they don't really watch the news. They get their news from social media. But I think, yeah, coronavirus, I didn't really take it seriously when I first heard about it.
Yeah, as it's a beer brand, it's really not normal. I thought it was someone hating against the beer brand, trying to, close them down. But it actually turned out to be real. As soon as in January and February, things started to get serious, Italy and China went into lockdown. The numbers surged into the thousands, hundreds, and then eventually Australia went into lockdown. And that's when I was like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
It's
So
real.
how do you think it impacted you at school and many other students?
So personally, at school, I stopped coming when it really got serious. I know there were still many students that were at school. Well, not many, like around 100 to 30 students that were actually at school. But I stopped coming to school because the chances of catching the coronavirus was actually like really high. It was something.
Yeah, I really started taking it serious around March when you said school started shutting down and
Yeah.
everything. But I feel like even though school did shut down, and personally, my parents didn't want me to go to school.
Yeah.
They didn't want me to go to school because, yeah, okay, if I catch it, the risks of me really
Transmitting the
yeah,
disease.
not just transmitting, the risk of me really being influenced and affected by it is not that high. It's like, to our age, I believe it's just something like a normal flu.
It's a flu, yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
but like also then again, I've got family members I see often. Like I've
Yeah,
got
the
my
elderly.
grandmother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the impact it's had on me. But online learning, I guess, has been really helpful as well. It's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely different to actually face-to-face learning at school. You know, we didn't learn as much, but we had some knowledge of what was going on. So when we came back to school, we were actually basing our like learning of something that we've already knew about.
yeah, you can't compare online learning to face-to-face learning.
Yeah,
Of course,
100%.
the traditional way of face-to-face learning, I guess, hasn't changed over a long time. But I feel like there's a reason to why it hasn't changed.
It can't change.
It's really the most effective way. I believe it to be the most effective way for you to learn.
Yeah.
Face to face, 100% most effective way. But yeah, okay, during coronavirus or COVID-19, we couldn't really do that even as a school, not just our school, but also other schools around Australia. But I feel like our school took the measure of being there for the students and providing the work, and I feel like that really helped us a lot.
Yeah, and
during
keeping
this
everyone
time.
safe. But you know what? Like school has definitely educated people a lot over time. Say the Black Death, the global pandemic, it affected millions of people. Millions of people died because they weren't educated. They didn't know what to
They
do.
weren't educated on how to treat the
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
after this pandemic, everyone is definitely more educated on hygiene and how to keep their social distance and like properly taking precautions to stay safe.
I think that it's great that at school especially and just anywhere that if you have any symptoms like coughing, sneezing, sore throat, it's well known to just go straight to the doctor. I think that when,
Get
as you
tested.
said, during the Black Death, I think no one really knew that and they didn't really have educated doctors to treat that. So I
But
think
I mean, like, you can't really compare coronavirus to Black Death.
well,
Yeah, it
obviously,
was
as you
worse.
said,
Well, yeah, it is a global pandemic, but then again, if you look at the times, this was during the medieval times. Okay, fair enough, people weren't hygienic or whatever, but you can't really blame them then again because technology wasn't as
they
good.
weren't really educated as they are now.
Yeah, but technology wasn't as advanced, you know. But I feel like we have the opportunity to learn from history, and we learn history in school as well. We have the opportunity to learn from it. We've got the technology to help us. So I feel like now we've actually really taken the precautions that are necessary to stop the spread. Even though we don't have the cure, we're stopping the spread.
Yeah, definitely. Like the case numbers have definitely gone down by a lot.
Yeah.
But there are still mishaps here and there that do affect that routine, but
Yeah, like
it's normal.
the hotspot in Wetherill Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually affected students at the school a lot because of the buses that transport back and forth from the school to Wetherill Park. You know, I know you guys go by bus, so like, how did that personally affect you guys?
I mean, personally, it really wasn't something different because you just mentioned Wetherill Park became a hotspot, which means
Yeah.
people were more cautious. People weren't just going there. People social distancing, especially during Wetherill.
Yeah.
I mean, social distancing happens everywhere now, but
Definitely.
especially in like Wetherill Park, that area, people social distance more, and you know they're like more sanitary as well as that hotspot. So I feel like me personally as a student, I wasn't really influenced by it. It didn't really impact me in a negative way. It was just regular for me. I went to school and I came back.
Yeah, but as you said before, you do have the elderly that you go and see. So if you catch it, you're most likely to transmit it to them, and it could be more lethal to them than it is to you.
Yeah.
Because the virus to us is like a normal flu, but to them it's something different. It's much more bigger.
So as Australia has entered its first recession in 29 years, how do you guys think it's affected the Australian economy?
The Australian economy.
I mean, the Australian economy is taking a turn for the worst.
Yeah,
It's
we're
pretty
in a
bad.
recession right now, but I guess you could view this as a negative thing. Or you could view this as a positive thing. You could,
Yeah, it's ups and downs. There are positives and negatives of this.
You could be optimistic about it, and you could think the recession is something good. But then again, people are suffering from this recession. People are losing everything overnight.
Yeah.
Some people have worked for their businesses for 20 years, 10 years, and they're losing everything in just days, weeks even. Which I guess, and financial institutions, like in the 5 sector, because Australia is divided into 5 sectors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, financial institutions have also really trying to help. But I feel like, businesses have been failing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, so the 5 sectors of the economy are actually really important. They actually keep the economy flowing and running, and actually helps us sustain a proper economy. So the 5 sectors of the economy are the household and consumer sector, which is people that earn incomes
Yeah.
and spend money and just basically contribute into the economy.
But I feel like that's also a cycle. It's not just 5 sectors. I feel
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they're all
definitely it is,
interconnected, Of course.
And then you've got your business sector. The business sector has been affected majorly, immensely. It's pretty bad on businesses. Many businesses have closed down according to administration. And then you've got your financial institutions, as you mentioned, your banks, the RBA. So the RBA has actually taken precautions and have implemented,
They've tried to solve it, I guess.
they've lowered interest rates.
They're like relieving the pressure, but it's not really solving the
And
problem.
there's been a drop in inflation rates as well. And at the same time, they have put a stop to all loan repayments because of people losing their jobs and
Yeah.
not being able to actually fend for themselves.
Yeah, but the loan repayments I feel like have been influenced by the decrease of the cash rate because the interest rates are also going down. They're going down not to help people that are already have loans, but to encourage people to take out loans, start spending in the economy to keep the money circulating within Australia.
But there are leakages and injections. So, for example, we have leakages as imports. That money isn't going back into our economy. It's going into, for example, the Chinese economy. So it does play a contributing role as the cycle goes. But then you've got your injections as exports, where we export items and goods and services out to other countries. So we actually benefit from that.
But yeah, the overseas sector I feel like has also been stopped in recent times.
Imports have actually increased. You know, people have been sitting at home. You know, you can't go out to shop, so you've resorted to online shopping. So those imports have actually increased.
Alright, but they've increased, but it's also become a lot harder to import things into Australia, especially just Australia. But coming from China, I can remember my friend, he ordered something from China, and it took 3 months for it to arrive. So I guess
same.
with the imports, I feel like imports are still normal, but they're not really coming at the same rate.
Yeah, they are. They've definitely dropped, but like they are still coming in. There is still a source of imports. You know.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear that COVID-19 has created a significant impact on the Australian economy, but it's great to see our government stepping in to provide stimulus packages, even though it's not something sustainable for the long term.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. The stimulus packages, although are not really solving the problem, but stimulus packages are easing the tension between people and unemployment, because unemployment rates are, of course, obviously they're going up due to businesses failing, and the demand is slowing down as well for things. But I feel like the panic buying might have actually eased a little bit of the tension.
Yeah, but as you said, a lot of people have lost their jobs. This is when the government sector comes in. So the government has actually helped individuals and consumers, like have a little source of income. So for example, we've got your job seeker and job keeper. Job keeper is money that's paid to businesses for them to pay to their employees. So they've actually still got their job. But then you've got your job seeker, which gives money to individuals that are seeking for a job during this crucial time, where as
A job seeker, I believe, that one really helps people who are looking.
yeah, so they can spend money into the economy and
But
I think
it
these-
also helps them.
I think these stimulus packages allow individuals to spend more money. As you said, they
They need to cycle the money throughout the economy.
to stimulate the economy again.
But job seeker, I feel like it's
Yeah.
not just to help the spending economy, it's also to support the people. The
Yeah.
the population of Australia, they need help. Like, I'll be honest with you.
yeah, but yet again, this actually does affect the government a lot. They've spent billions on these stimulus packages, but it's to keep the economy flowing. We've already mentioned the overseas sector, imports and exports. And do you guys have anything else to add?
Nah, I think that's pretty much it.
We wrapped it all up.
Okay,
Wrap it
thank
all
you
up.
for joining us. God bless you.